Hi, it's Amy, and today I would like to talk about something that's been coming up for me a lot. It's the word surrender. And for a very long time, I hated this word. It would come up, and I would just, I don't know, it was cringe, as my kids would say. Um, I just didn't like it because it made me think, surrender means you're giving up. And why would you ever give up? And it took me a long time to realize that sometimes giving up is necessary, depending on what you're giving up. And what I finally came to realize is surrender for me meant giving up the idea in my head of how things were supposed to look and giving up the need to control everything. And I may not look like much of a control freak, but when things don't go according to plan, I get all in my head about it. And I would be so disappointed and really give up on things because something hadn't gone according to plan. And what I've learned, and what's interesting, is you really can only learn it through surrender. Um, but what I've learned is sometimes things don't work out for you. So you might really want something and it doesn't work out. And it's because there's something even better coming. And and sometimes, like for me, I would see someone doing something, either, a hairstyle or wearing something or talking about something, or, they post something and I'd be like, yes, I want to do that. And it turns out that when you're just mimicking what's around you, sometimes like if you think about hairstyles, maybe that works on them and maybe it doesn't work on you, right? You're different and you can't expect things to play out the way you want just because you've seen it play out that way for someone else. You can take the exact same actions and get a different outcome. And it was maddening to me. It would drive me crazy because it was like, no, this is like a formula. A plus B equals C. And for me, it was like A plus B equals D. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I just want C. And it took me a very long time. I mean, we're talking years to understand that giving up control meant potentially finding something better than I expected. And another sort of interesting twist to this whole idea of surrender is like this idea of surrendering to God, right? Or the universe source, like what plan is in place for you. And for a long time, I also had an aversion to the word God. And because I didn't grow up in a religious family or around religion, and it just felt like, okay, well, that word is not available to me because I don't prescribe to some specific religion. And what was really interesting is when I started my shaman training, and I'll talk a lot more about my work as a shaman because I'm very passionate about it. But when I started the training for that, and I started to do these journeys and looking to my spirit guides for guidance, every single time they would tell me that I was a child of God. And it was like just out of the gate, right? It was like, oh, I'm here, I'm looking for guidance. And it was like, you're a child of God. And I would be like, awesome. Thank you. Can I have something a little more concrete, a little a little more clearly directed, you know what I mean? And I think I was still fighting this. Um, and it was happening over and over and over again. And then finally it was like, I'm never gonna escape this. And when I finally decided to just let it be, to just allow myself to be a child of God, it was like, oh, that's why you've been that's why you've been telling me that. Um, because the reality is I didn't need an answer. I had the answer. I just had to believe in myself as a child of God because I was doubting. And like doubt, you know, has no place in the work that I do. Um, so it was really clear to me that, you know, this was now part of who I was. And, you know, the word God has been in my vocabulary since. So the idea of surrendering to God or God's plan or, you know, the universe, whatever your spirit's purpose is in this lifetime. And for me, conceptually, I would be like, yeah, I'm totally in. Like I get it. But it just wasn't happening fast enough. And it wasn't happening the way I thought that it should. And it didn't look the way that I thought it would. Um, and I kept resisting because I had this idea and it just wasn't, I was like, no, whoa. I understand the purpose. I get it. But I didn't like the, how do I get there? Right. And sometimes you have to go really deep into your feelings, into your insecurities. And it was like, I don't really want to do this. I just want to go there. um, but the magic is in the mess. The magic is in that work. And, you know, surrendering to that is a little bit scary, but it's so freeing at the same time because you eventually realize you're just being held and there is a plan, and all you have to do is believe in yourself and in the plan, and it all just kind of falls together. And I resisted it for such a long time. And it's amazing once you allow that surrender to happen, how things start to fall into place and how things that would normally stress you out seem like no big deal. And you feel lighter and freer and just so full of love, and you feel loved. And that's what I've been experiencing lately. And it's really, really something. And to get here took surrendering. But now that I understand why and, you know, the reason that had to happen, it seems so obvious and clear to me now, when for a long time it felt like, no, I need to fight for this. I need to make this happen. I need to push for this. I need to push myself. I need to, you know, a lot of times I would tell myself it's because you're not working hard enough. It's because you're not doing enough. It's because, you know, because. And all I had to do was let go. I was just pushing too hard. Um, and here I am. And now I'm in a space where I know I'm supposed to be here talking, sharing all of this. I don't know why. I don't know what it looks like. I don't have a plan. And I'm totally okay with that because God has a plan and I'm all in and I'm here for it. And together we'll see how it evolves.